Today I am going to attempt to build an indoor water park in Minecraft with hopefully some sort of working slide system. And as I go down the slide myself, you know, it's pretty slow. The aim is to have a massive kind of water park dome with loads of cool slides in it. So first I'm going to aim to build some sort of kind of like dome shape. I'm going to try and like mark out some sort of shape where you can put the dome. So I might gradually shorten this as I get higher. Now it looks too straight. You know what, Minecraft is really just not designed for circles. Okay, so we've got some sort of curve starting to be resembled here. I think I'm definitely going to make it that little bit bigger. Okay, change of tactic. Because I think I'm just going to mark out kind of how big I want it first. So I might just build along here. How tall do we want this dome to be? It's got to be go big or go home, I think. Okay, I think that's good. You know what? There we are. So after experimenting with this curve, I think we've got some sort of curve which looks quite smooth. I think I'm just going to go with that. And of course I can't go through the process of making that curve again. Let's just copy that. And let's give it a mirror of 100. Or is it east or west? Oh my god. Flip that east and that will join up. And that will give us a good shape for our kind of water park here. I think I'm going to just double this up by one more. Aha, look at this. In creative mode, you can fly anywhere. Don't use scaffolding. Haha. One up on you survival players. I'm just kidding. So now I've doubled up the curve. I think I'm going to fill it up with some sort of glass. But I think I might make it into some sort of pattern. I don't know about you, but I don't know if blue terracotta is that blue. Now looking at it, I don't know how I feel about blue now. So this replaces with some grey. Alright, I think that looks a little bit better. So now let's try and get some sort of cool window pattern going on here. So what materials should I use? So I'm thinking, do I go for this or do I go for this? You know what? You're not blue. Goodbye. Okay, so I'm going to do some sort of square pattern here. We could do some blue glass next to that because I want the majority of this to be glass. I'm trying to find a clever way of like incorporating some sort of cool pattern with it. I might make this edge one thicker. Also, I think I've got a different idea for this window design. Alright, so I think I know how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to get some black, and I think now I'm going to get like some dark grey. And I'm thinking, firstly, I'm just going to do this, just alternating literally all the way across just to fill kind of this whole area up. And then I'm going to try and incorporate some sort of cool pattern within this. So yeah, let's just quickly fill all this up and see where I end up. Oh yes, and the numbers fit, because if it was like to end with 2 on the end, oh, honestly I'll cry. So now I've got this checkered pattern all complete. I'm now going to add some sort of cool like blue pattern to it. So let's grab myself some blue stained glass and let's see what we can do with this. So I'm thinking of doing some sort of wavy pattern. So maybe with some blue concrete, maybe what I might do, I might replace this first block here, but then to keep that kind of checkered kind of like texture, I guess, I might get some light blue. I might replace the next one with it. So for wave texture, I might do another blue stained glass square there. And then on top, I might add some light blue. Just there. And then I might go across another normal blue. So now we've got our wave pattern done. And now I've got to figure out how I'm going to extend this kind of whole front face here. So how long is this going to be? Just grab some grey concrete and let's see how long we can make this. Right, so I've pretty much got a starting point of kind of like how the building's going to turn out. Kind of got everything laid out now. These points annoy me. I don't know why. They just do. So let's just get rid of them. Now, moving on to the roof. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. I know that I want a big skylight though. Like a massive skylight going over it. So I might do something like that. But firstly, I think I'm going to need like some sort of like bottom kind of area. Just so we can add room for like the entrances and stuff. So I might just build this bottom bit up by a few blocks to start with. Oh no, the invisible blocks are back. So now we've got the 2 sides done. I'm going to figure out how am I going to create this skylight. Firstly, I might add like a few like in between bits to kind of just, I don't know what they're called, but like the middle bits to kind of like hold the glass together. And then I'm going to try and link these 2 points together using the same shape as we done with the both sides just here. Come on. Yes. Okay. That's good. That's very good news. They managed to meet up here, and that gives us a cool little curve to start our whole skylight off with. So now all I got to do is fill in all of these areas with glass. So with all the glass filled in, we've got ourselves a nice dome for the water park. So next up, let's go inside And let's just quickly fill in some of the floor here. And I think I might use some smooth sandstone for this, as it, well, kind of looks like sand. So I could fill in this whole floor in by hand, but honestly, no. And now I've managed to fill this in like a few seconds, it makes me regret my decisions of filling in half of this roof by hand. So before I start decorating the water park, I feel like I need to make the outside just that a little bit more attractive. So what I might do, let's grab ourselves some smooth stone. I'm thinking, let's just go around this, let's encase this. So now I need to figure out where I'm going to put the entrance for this park. And I'm thinking this spot right here in the centre, of course. I don't know, what should I use for this? Maybe, let's get ourselves some blue concrete. And I'm thinking, let's just do some sort of N shape here for kind of like a big entrance. And let's also add some doors as well. Okay, looking nice. Oh my god, it's off center. So I was thinking, as it is a water park, maybe I can add some sort of moat around this just to make it look a bit cooler. So if I just go out a few blocks, maybe like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10's good. Let's get the axe out again. And let's see how this looks. Alright, I think that looks alright. I might add some more smooth stone around the edges as well. And next, I need to fill this up with some water. So let's grab ourselves a water bucket. And let's start spamming this place. Actually, you know what? This is going to take forever. I feel like this dirt needs to go though. Yeah, doesn't exactly look very nice, that dirt there. Let's replace that with some nice cobblestone. Oh no, still triggered. And let's also add a little bridge here as well. And to make sure people don't fall in the moat, I think it's important we add a fence around this. Let's get some grey concrete and let's leave maybe like 4 blocks in between. Here's me praying that everything is even. And then in between, let's just add some nice black stained glass. That'll give it a nice little modern effect on this. So now with all the fence done, I'm going to see if I can get some working fountains for a grand entrance when you go into the water park. So just grab a little hopper here. That'll be kind of like a cool hose design. Don't know where I'm going to put it. Make sure it's centered. Yes. And then now let's get some good old command blocks out. And then I might as well grab some tripwire hooks and put them on either side. That will force people to see the amazing water display, which I'm hopefully going to do. We'll see how this goes. So now I'm going to mark where I want the water to spawn. So, how big do we want these fountains? That's the question. And let's try and replace these blocks with some water. So, let's go into our command block here. Okay, let's get rid of the say whale. And then let's do 14, -5, -7. And then let's just change that to water. And then I'm also going to need it to change back to air to turn off the fountain as well. As you can see, we've got some water just here, which has flowed up. So let's see the effect once more. So you go in, wait, oh. Okay, we definitely need to make that delay a lot longer. You know what, scrap this plan, let's do some particles instead. So let's get ourselves a new set of coordinates. Let's place one there. And then let's do particle. And hopefully when I do that. Okay, nothing. I keep playing around with it and I have no idea why this isn't working. Like I keep going on it and there's no particle being displayed over there. Wait, hang on a minute. Really?
Bruh.
So let's just quickly destroy this block as well so we can actually see it happen. And then if I go on the tripwire. Way. I think we can make that bigger though. Let's make that bigger. Let's do a big fountain. So now, as you go to the water park, way, you get a nice little grand entrance. And then one extra detail, let's make this moat light up. So if we grab ourselves some sea lanterns, let's just scatter these everywhere. So now with all the sea lanterns placed, let's see how this place looks at night. Ooh. So now all the outside is done, we can now start building this water park. So now I'm going to try and plan how I'm going to lay out this whole water park. So I was thinking we could have some sort of beach kind of area like at the top end here. And then what we can do, we can have like maybe like some sun loungers. And then we can have like the wave pool kind of here. I think that'd look pretty cool. And then for the actual swimming pool, I think I'm just going to do some sort of interesting shape in the middle. I'll figure that out later on, but I think the pool's going to be in the middle. And then I might have some sort of slides I don't really know where the slide's going to be yet, but we just have some sort of slides going into it. But then we'll have the main kind of pool area here. So first up, for the balcony area, I'm thinking I might just use maybe like some grey concrete. And then if I just I might build this all the way across. And that can be our little upper deck just there. Right, so we're starting to get some sort of layout here. So next I'm going to try and figure out what kind of shape this swimming pool should be. I'm just going to do some sort of like random pattern. For some reason it looks like a giant fried egg. I don't know. You know what though? I like it. So I've just made the shape a little bit bigger, and now I'm just going to dig this whole thing out and make it look something that resembles some sort of swimming pool. So now I've dug the pool down, now I can make it look a little bit more cooler. We could do some sort of kind of gradient pattern. So if we do some sort of pattern which goes like this. So let's do some sort of zigzaggedy kind of line to start it off. So I've got most of the kind of like swimming pool all filled up now with some colour, which I think looks cool. So before I get all this colour filled in, let's fill up this whole pool with some water. So let's just spam all this water everywhere. Yes, the tsunami begins. Oh, how hard is it to fill up a pool? Ah, there we are. So now we've got all of the water placed here, I can finally add our coral. So now we've got all of our blocks placed, we've got ourselves a nice gradient in our pool, which kind of looks like waves. I kind of like it. Now for the edge of the pool, I'm thinking I'm going to grab myself some, let's have a look, we can grab ourselves some quartz stairs, and I'm just going to like place these around the rim, just so like some sort of kind of like edge drain design. So now we've got a nice edge to our pool. I might add like some sort of drain design around as well. So I could use maybe like an iron trapdoor for that. So we can use these just around. Oh, I might actually replace the bottom of them first. So now we've got the main pool all complete. We can now move on to the wave section. And then using a similar process to what we've done with that pool, let's dig this out and turn this into something which again resembles some sort of pool. For this, I thought it'd be cool to go for some sort of zigzag pattern. I think that looked quite nice. So by doing this, we got ourselves a nice sloping bottom for this pool. So now I'm going to get this one filled up and then turn it into more of kind of like a beach. So for this wave pool section here, I think I'm going to get myself maybe like some normal stone slabs. Thinking I might just scatter some of these slabs to make some sort of wall kind of thing. And the next up, I'm going to add a little bit of greenery to make this place just that little bit more lively. So I think if I grab myself some jungle leaves, I'm just going to scatter some of these just around the stone wall, just act like little bushes. So next up, I'm going to grab myself some sand, and I think I'm just going to fill in this area, which will be the coastline for our little artificial beach. And then of course, it wouldn't be a beach without some sunbeds. So for a simple sunbed design, I'm thinking I'm going to place one quartz stair there with maybe 2 slabs coming out of it. And then I might do them as like a set of 2 here. And then I might put some birch fence in the middle. And if we put some string around here, then we can add some carpet on top. And that'll give us a nice little sunbed design. And then along with these sunbeds, I might also add just some towels as well. So with the beach area pretty much finished, we can now move on to adding some more kind of cliffs to the main pool as well. I'm just going to do another kind of rough cliff, kind of just on some of the areas of the whole pool, because I want to leave room for the slides later on. Next up, we can now add some palm trees. Let's start probably here, and I'm thinking for like a sort of palm tree design, I'm thinking we might go up and then across one, and then go up a bit more, and then with some jungle leaves, maybe put like one in the centre there. Then I might extend this out by one on either side, and then maybe like 2 outwards. 2 outwards of each kind of point. And then I might do another kind of leaf, kind of like going diagonally up as well. So I think I'm just going to put quite a few of these just scattered around the whole park. I'm thinking each of these is going to be in kind of like little pots. They're not actually going to be planted. So I might use like maybe like a composter, and then I can kind of put it underneath there to look like some sort of planter. Now I've got some more palm trees placed, we can now get on to the exciting part and create some water slides. First up, let's do some sort of steep drop slide. So for this, I'm going to use some yellow concrete, and I'm thinking maybe we just start by doing the bottom bit here by extending this kind of out like this. And then if I just kind of bring these 2 points up, and then if we just curve this, I'm thinking we might just curve this up, kind of like at the top. And then it wouldn't be a water slide without some water, so if I grab a water bucket here. And then let's just temporarily place some blocks here for the time being. But then let's add some water and get this slide in action here. But if I was to try it out now and I go down, as you can see, if I'm stuck in the water, it's always quite slow. And then if you don't go in the water, you pretty much just like, you'll drop into your death. So to prevent this, I've got some sort of idea which I'm going to test out later, and I'm hoping it works, and then we can get, because if it works, we can get ourselves a working water slide in Minecraft. And then next up, let's do more of a wavy slide. Yeah, so maybe something like this, I think, then we can repeat that all the way to the top. So by doing this wavy pattern, we should end up with a cool looking slide like this. So next up, let's do some sort of spiral slide as well. So maybe if I do that kind of same method what I do for creating circles, so if I do 4 here and then 4 blocks here, and place another one, if I can just join these up somehow. So if I do like a similar tactic to how I do for when making circles, hopefully I can create some sort of spiral which goes all the way up there. Alright, so I think I'm kind of getting it. I think I'm just going to do it in like 4 sections, and I'm just going to keep going up by 1 block. And that should give us some sort of swirl. So by doing this, I managed to get a cool spiral shape here for the slide. And the spiral, I can tell you, was quite a nightmare because it's really hard to fix your eyes on one shape that is constantly going up in different segments. It's very confusing. But next up, with some red concrete, I'm now going to turn this into a tube slide. So I'm thinking I'm going to make this almost like a 3x3 square, and this should give us a cool little tube effect. So now with all the roof on the slide put on, we can now fill this one up as well. And then to add like a cool light effect when going down the slide, I might add some redstone torches just on the side there. I'm just going to scatter all these. Oh, glow squid. Wait. Oh, are these glow squids going to be an issue? So the next slide I'm going to attempt is a banana slide. The first thing I'm going to attempt to create some sort of V shape. Let's just extend this along, and then that'll give room for the boat to swing down it. And I'm just going to add a barrier on the ends of these just to stop people falling off, because, well, that wouldn't be good. And then let's just place some water for now. So now I've got all of our water slides built, I'm now going to just make this entrance area look a little bit more attractive. And I was thinking we could make some sort of rocky cliff kind of at the front here, which I think would work quite nicely with all of our little cliffs that we've got all over here. So we've got a nice cliff to start us off here, and let's just add another one here as well. And then to make this cliff look a little bit more natural, let's add some nice jungle leaves here. Just spice it up a little bit. Now let's make this kind of balcony area that little bit more attractive. So I want to make it kind of blend in with these like stone cliffs here. And then using the cliff, I'm just going to kind of make some sort of natural balcony which kind of curves around. And then if I just fill in these little areas around here. So now we've got a nice little cliff area here where people can chill and relax. I'm thinking I might add some more on each of these ends as well. So now we've got some nice scenery put in. I now need to figure out a way of how we can actually get up to the water slides. For this, I've just done some sort of staircase tower, which I'm going to do for each of these slides. So now let's decorate the top area just to make it look that little bit cooler. This is going to be our chill zone. So firstly at the top, I'm thinking let's add some more of those sunbeds that we made earlier on. And then I might also add some extra seats along the back here as well. So for the fountain, I'm thinking we could do some sort of like whale in the middle, which is like spraying water and it's all going everywhere. If I can create a sphere for kind of like the head. And then to make it 3D, what I tend to do is I kind of go in like the other 2 directions with the same shape. And then that way I can kind of just fill in the other areas that we need. And that'll give us a nice kind of sphere shape to work with. And then I might make the bottom half of this white for like the whale's belly. Now I feel like we should give our whale a name. I don't know, let's call him Chris. Let's call him Chris the whale. So let's make him happy as well. He's a happy whale. So for that I might do some quartz stairs. We can open his mouth kind of like that maybe. He can be happy. Has some teeth. Do whales have teeth? I think they do, don't they? So I think we've got a nice simple whale here. Hang on a minute. It's not in center. Triggered. And then similar to the particle effect we done on the entrance, let's add a nice little water particle coming out of his nose just there. Doesn't need redstone. As you can see, it gives a nice kind of fountain effect, but then my FPS is pretty much deceased. Oh, yeah, let's decrease the count. I think that'll help our FPS out. Let's do it to like 2,500. That's better. Now I feel like we need to add a beach barbecue for this water park. What I'm thinking is we can use these campfires to start with. I'm thinking, let's place 2 here. Why not? Let's add a nice bit of heat to this barbecue. And then I'm thinking on top I could add some trapdoors. And then for some sort of kind of like lid design, I'm thinking we could use some deep slate tile stairs. I might place 2 kind of like stairs on either side there. Add an upside down one. And then for this menu, let's do some potatoes and some steak. Lovely jobby just there. And then just to enhance this, I got some nice custom heads here. So let's add maybe a potato on the barbecue there. We can also add some corn. And I got a few burgers as well. So now we've pretty much got the kind of main water park done. But now, before I can actually get these slides working, I need to do all the changing rooms and kind of like the entrance area just here, which looks pretty well, weird at the minute. So I've managed to fill all this area in. So firstly, we've got our little shower area here, which actually works. Because if I go in the special plate, I've got a particle effect, which makes it look like I'm having a shower. And then if we come in here, we've also got our changing room area as well. So I've got plenty of lockers, just using some different coloured shulker boxes here. And then just a little changing room with a little bench there as well. And I also managed to create this cool little scene design of like water almost, which I think looks quite cool. And then if we come inside here, we've got our little entrance area as well. So to enable us to slide down a water slide fast in Minecraft, I'm going to use a pig. So I'm on MC Stacker, which is pretty much a generator to create loads of cool commands in Minecraft in an easy way. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a summon command, and I'm going to summon a pig. And then firstly, I'm going to give it a passenger, and this passenger is going to be a minecart. And I'm also going to make it silent so we don't hear the minecart noise as well. So if I just copy that command, and let's head back to Minecraft. So if I'm to paste this command in this command block, let's just make it spawn 1 block higher. And if I press button, then if I just activate the command, we get a pig with a minecart tied to it. And then if I just grab myself a carrot, the pig will then follow me with the minecart attached to its back. So my aim is to teleport this pig all over the place, which will allow us to create a custom path for which we can slide down. So this is like the new, much cooler way of riding a pig. But for now we don't need him, so we're just gonna... But my next task is to make sure that the pig doesn't actually move on its own. And to do this, all I've got to do is give it no AI, which is this option here. The pig will just stay still and won't do anything. But this gives us a good base to work from. So to see if I can make this work in water, let's just dig a little hole here. So then let's grab this coordinate just there. And then let's adjust this, do some specific chords. So now if I press the button, we'll get a pig just here. I hope he doesn't drown. Oh no. That's depressing. But never mind, if we go back to MC Stacker, let's just make this pig invulnerable. And then it cannot take any damage. So in order to move it, we need to make this pig unique so we can identify it. So we're going to give it a tag. So the tag I'm going to give it just there, I'm just going to call it test. And that's going to be what we're going to identify it by. So it doesn't impact all other pigs in the Minecraft world, because that would be pretty chaotic. And then just to teleport this pig with a command block, I'm going to do /dp, and then let's say what we're TPing, an entity, and it's going to have a type, which is going to be a pig, and it's also going to have a tag, which is going to be test, just like this. And then we're just going to define where we want this pig to be TP to, which is the chords that we just marked. So I want it to be TP to 17, -21, and 88 just there. And let's do 0 on the end there, just like that. Hopefully now, if I press this button, the pig should teleport across. Hey, there we are. And as you can see, the pig teleports nicely. And then just to hide the pig, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to adjust the command again. And then I'm just going to add this section just there, which is pretty much giving it an active effect of invisibility just there. So now, let's just spawn this in again. And yes, the pig is invisible. But then if we enter the minecart and then press the button, we teleport forward. So now we've got a nice rubber dinghy here. I'm going to make it follow some sort of trail, which is going to be how I'm going to navigate it along all of these different water slides. So I'm just going to create some sort of kind of like crazy river just to begin with. And if I just grab any random block, and I'm just going to go kind of spreading these blocks, kind of leaving kind of like one gap in between them. And then just using this same TP command, I'm going to use this command for each of these different coordinates to make the pig flow around. And if I just summon it just there, and hopefully when I press this button, this minecart will go in a curve. Whee! There we are, and it goes in a cool little curve just like this. So here's what I'm going to do for each slide. Just starting on this steep yellow slide here, with a random block, I'm just using gold. I'm just going to plot out the coordinates which I want the minecart to go down by. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab all the different coordinates from each of these points. So let's grab all of these command blocks. And let's go down here. So this one spawns the dinghy. And then this one will TP it. And then these will go on the end where it will kill the minecart and the pig. So firstly, the dinghy for the yellow slide, I'm just going to give this a tag of yellow. And I'm also going to give the minecart a tag of yellow M, just like that. And then by TPing, let's just change this tag to yellow so it will work on the minecart we want. And then also adjust these as well. And then let's spawn our minecart. So for the spawn point, let's just use a different block just to mark it out. So I'm going to add 2 buttons just on either side. And then the first one will be to spawn it. And then the second one will be to go. And then if I just add the command block just there, and then 37, 34 are the chords that we set. And then I'm just going to set it to a redstone block. So hopefully as I press this button, it will spawn our minecart just here. And then just to get rid of this redstone block once it's been placed, I'm just going to add an extra command, which will then set the block to air. So then hopefully as I press this, the redstone block should have gone. Okay. I think I need a repeater because there's no signal going here. So let's change the coordinates to the set block to this block here with the redstone. And I think that's what the issue is. Hopefully, when I summon this minecart, no redstone block shall be there. Yes! Okay. Finally fixed that issue then. So now I'm going to add loads of different commands to TP this thing going all the way down into the water. So let's just bring this trail going all the way along. And bringing up all the coordinates. Let's just adjust each of them. Just adjusting them all the way down. And then once I've reached the end, I'm going to add the kill commands as well. And then let's grab the coordinates for another redstone block. And moving to the other side, let's add a command block just there to redstone just there. And then finally, also at the end, let's do a command which will get rid of the redstone block as well. Alright, this is the moment of truth. Let's see if we can get this water slide to work. So, firstly, let's just spawn this in first. And then hopefully when I press this button, it will zoom down here. Fingers crossed. Whee! And it just goes all the way down. So I'm just going to get rid of these blocks. Add our stream of water. Okay, here we go. This is the moment of truth. So let's spawn our rubber dinghy just there. And then go. And it flies down. Just like that. But now, let's ride it. Okay, here we go. So let's spawn the rubber dinghy. Let's get in. And it slide down. Way! And we're going all the way down the slide. Let's also add ourselves a splash sound effect and particle effect. So I'm quite happy with this water slide now. So I press this button. Let's hop in it. Let's go. Way! And then we have a little splash effect at the end there as well. So now with one water slide working, I've got to do this same concept for the other 3 here. So after placing many command blocks, all of these slides now work. So first up, we have got the steep yellow slide just here. So let's spawn this and let's go. Whee! That is a proper steep drop, that one. And the next up, we have got the wavy green slide. So let's spawn this in and then let's go. Whoa! And if you want a slide that makes you feel very dizzy, then we have got this spiral one here. So spawn this in and then 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, this is so fast. Yeah, but this one definitely makes me feel very dizzy when I go on it, but in a good way. And then finally, we have got the banana slide. So let's spawn this in. And then here we go. Whee! Up and down we go. And then we'll return just here. So now we've got all 4 slides working, we can now work on our wave pool. So the concept is, if I just have a small pool of water, if I just mark these 2 coordinates just here. And for the first command, if I just do /fill and then just enter our coordinates. And then we're going to do that as just water, just there. And as I activate this, this will add some water, just like that. And then once the water has been placed there, I want it to move across to fill this block and then empty that block. So it's kind of like a moving wave almost. So for the next command, let's just leave a gap of, I don't know, maybe 2 ticks or something. And then for the next command block, firstly, I'm going to fill the previous wave to air this time. So let's just change this bit to air. And then this time I'm going to fill these 2 blocks just here. And if we enter the new sets of coordinates, and then when I press this, it should create some sort of wave. I'm hoping it does. Let's have a look. Right, so to allow the water to actually expand, I'm going to make this a little bit slower. So then if we try this again, something like that, and it will create some sort of wave that will go all the way across. So if I just mark out many strips along this pool, so now I've got all the waves marked out, I can now get on with all the commands. So now with all of the commands placed, let's test this wave pool out. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Let's start the waves. Whoa. No, my sunbeds. Oh, dang it. It just chopped all my water park. Oh my god, this is that. I want to cry. Right, well at least we know what command we can test now. My whole park is flooded. Why? This just shows how one wrong coordinate can mess up your whole build. Oh my god. I didn't put the minus in. I forgot the minus. Right, well, let's just see if this actually works now before I have to rebuild this place. 3, 2, 1. Way, we got a working wave pool. Look at that. Whoa. That does look pretty cool. Then again, a lot of my park is destroyed. So I finally managed to get the whole water park all repaired. And big lesson learned from that. If you're going to do a massive command with massive block changes, create a backup world. Right, so now let's test this wave pool once more. So 3, 2, 1, waves. There we are. We've got a nice wave that goes across the pool, which we can swim in. Just like this. And with the wave pool completed, our water park is officially complete. And that means it's time for an epic cinematic shot. Take it away. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first edition of my new creative series, and I'm pretty happy with how this water park turned out, apart from the fact we nearly destroyed it near the end. But yeah, so I'd really appreciate it in the comments if you let me know what you thought of this video. And if you did enjoy this video, please smash that like button, as it would help me out hugely, and I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to join a social channel, then my Discord link is in the description as well. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and have a good day.